Hey, back again. Okay, and this part I want to talk about being able to set up my grid so I can have it automatically centered in the frame if I want to. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to find my starting block when my loop runs and creates the grid. So for example, let's say I'm going to make a grid 10 by 10. This is what it'll look like. 10 by 10. Okay, but I want it centered. Oh crap. I want this centered. So this is what it should look like. So it's centered. So I need to find this starting block. I need to find its x and y value. Okay, so I know it's going to be 336 by 176. And I wrote that down, a little sticky note here to remind myself. Perfect. Okay, so let's get rid of all those, put everything back to the way it was. Now in order for this to all to work, I had to create a new object, and I called it Dumb Grid, short for Dummy Grid, and I named it the same. Made sure its create start was checked, and made sure destroy object too far from frame was unchecked, because I want this object to always be there. And later I can use this object to store some values that I'm going to need. Alright, one more thing, I need to create a new global string, and I'm going to call it, I don't know, center grid. Good enough. I give it a value of yes, like so. Okay, now I can start setting up my event for this. Hopefully it doesn't get too confusing. Okay, so what I need to do, oh, I created a little formula here, and this probably won't make much sense to you, but this is the formula that I'm going to use. So I need to do the frame width minus the total amount of columns times each box, each grid block's width, and divide that by 2. The last part of the formula here is because I have my main blocks hotspot, the grid blocks hotspot centered. So this needs to be in here for that. And this is the same thing, just broken down a little more. And this is what the formula would look like based on making a 10 by 10 grid. I just used that as a way to figure out what I was doing. So let's get to work. Create a new event or a new condition on group activation. Okay, add another condition in here. Global string center grid equals yes. Okay, we need to override these two values, one for the starting x position and one for the starting y position. To do that, I'm going to put in this formula, but I need to base it on the width and size of my dummy grid. Why? Because this block is not going to be created at start, and this event is going to happen before my loop starts, so that may end up causing problems. Alright, so let's create the event. Let's change the starting x position to okay, ready for this? The frame width, see if I don't screw this up, minus the amount of columns that I'm going to have here, and that needs to be times by this width of this object. So how do we get the width? Right edge minus its left edge, and then close that up, and then close this whole thing up. I should do it, right? Is that right? Yeah. Okay, now we'll divide that by 2. Now and add the last part of the equation right here. So that would be plus whatever this size of this is, the width of this is, divided by 2. Alright, so we'll go, it's total width, right? Divide it by 2. Yeah, we should probably close this up too. Yeah, the brackets are kind of important. Okay, I think that looks right. Now if we did that right, the value here should be set to 336. Let's see if it works. 336. Oh, bang on. Okay, now we need to do the same thing for the Y start position. Okay, so set starting Y position. This one's going to be a little different. So it'll be the frame height. Ah, crap. Minus. I have to go and slow this or I tend to screw up. Global value, amount of rows, times that by the height of this. To get the height, bottom edge, minus its top edge. Right? Yeah, close that up. Divide that by 2. Now we need to get the height of this because of the hotspot divided by 2. So we'll go plus its height again, top edge, right? That looks right. Now divide that by 2. We should enclose this in brackets so it adds it right. Perfect. I think that's right. Let's try it. Nice. So my Y for my global value should be at 176. 176. Perfect. Alright. Well, let's see if it works if we change some things around here. Let's say we change this to, I don't know, 20. And we'll change this to 13. Will it be centered? That's the question. Yes. Looks good. Okay, what happens if we were to change the frame size? I don't know, let's do something crazy here. Try that. Oh, booyah. Still centered. Perfect. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to do, and hopefully that didn't confuse you too much like it did me. I'll put these in their right places. Good. On these comments, I just made these from the last video, and they actually belong somewhere around there, just so I can keep track of what I'm doing. And I'll make a comment for this too. I think that's it. Okay, I'll be back to talk about this part. Change the grid's appearance. In case you're wondering about this formula again, don't worry, because I'll be uploading the MFA for this, so you can just take a look at it. If you're not sure, maybe we can zoom in on that. There we go. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Let's try that again. There, just zoom in a bit. You see that? No? Okay. Alright, I'm done.